Hi there. So I know in this season, a lot of us are working from home. Well, for me, I've been working at home for 5 years now. And so today I want to talk about how you can set up your office so that you can boost your productivity. Now, here's the thing. First thing first, I hope you have a dedicated working space. Because I know that when you think about work from home, most people think about, oh, I'll work up from my patio, or I will work while I'm in bed, or I will work in the kitchen. That's all okay. But if you really want to boost your productivity, it's very essential for you to have a dedicated working space. And when I say a working space, it doesn't have to be something fancy or all room setup. Even if it's just a little corner by your bedside that you just put a little table and then you put your laptop on that, that's your dedicated workspace, and we're gonna kick it off from there. So first thing first in your checklist is to dedicate a space where you work. And not just your dining table, but somewhere dedicated for work. Second thing you want to do is you want to prep the space. So if you already have a working space, yeah, prep it. And if you don't, prep it. But I'm going to show you what you need to do step by step. Now, can I just say that one thing that's super important about all of this is the fact that for me, I have a dedicated working space because I work from home. And the reason why I've decided to do that is because I used to work corporate, and I know the amount of energy and psychology and rearrangement and resources that are put into place to create that working environment. And we know that when we have a very good working environment, it obviously bounces off on our productivity. So I know that having that space is very key to your productivity. Now, let's talk about preparing the space. Number one, you want to declutter. So if right now you have a space that you use or you don't have a space that you use, declutter, move things out of the way. You know how you're working in a space and there's so much clutter everywhere and it just kind of bogs down on your brain and the way you think and your mind and even your creativity. Check around where your working space is and think about things you need to take out of the space that is going to amp your productivity, your creativity, and just even your peace of mind. Just chuck them away, put them away. Behind the curtains, under the table, in boxes, in baskets, put them away out of sight. So once you've done prepping the environment, that means you put in things in boxes. I love putting things in boxes, so I put in documents and books and things that I'm not using, that you know those things that when you try and tidy them up they don't look good still. I just put them in fancy pretty boxes. I get a nice bookshelf for my books, and then I also hide things behind the curtains where I don't see them so that the place is nice and hairy and fresh. So whatever space you've created for yourself, make sure it's nice and hairy and fresh, not the place where you can see the laundry or you can see the dishes in the sink or whatever. Just make sure that it does not hamper your productivity. Now, once you're done with the external environment, the next thing you want to do is to deal with the software that you use in your business. So if you have emails, you have messages, or you have all your documents on, this is the time to declutter. If you're one of those people that when you're done working, you just close your laptop without closing all your tabs, I'm telling you, when you see those millions and millions of tabs being open, every time you wake up every morning, you feel like you have tons of stuff you need to do that you didn't get into. This is a time for you to close the tabs. The ones that are irrelevant, close them up. And the ones that are relevant, just put a bookmark on them. You can always get back to it later. Second thing you want to do, you want to go through all your emails and then start sorting things out, filtering things out to make sure that everything is all nice and tidy. Create folders, create filters in your email so that when you wake up every morning, you have a nice clean email to go to, rather than feeling so overwhelmed with all these things and all these unread messages and all these opened inboxes and opened tabs and windows you have all over it. So this is the time to declutter, feel fresh, and just enjoy working from home. So that's the second point, prepping your space. Now the third thing you want to think about is decorating. And when I say decorating, you don't need to go all out and get an interior designer. I mean, if you can afford one, great. If you have that, that's awesome. But what I just need you to do is very simple. Make sure you have a table and a chair, and you can just take a walk around your house and look at pretty things and things that you can use to beautify your space. Now, for me, the way I have kind of decorated my office has a lot to do with my ideal customer avatar. My ideal customer is a mom that works from home, there's an high performer and wants to manage her time. I kind of make sure that the way I decorated my office influences that. Why? Because when I'm in a creative mode, I can tap into how my ideal customer would feel and would respond to whatever product or whatever service that I'm working on. It's completely up to you how you want to decorate your office. If you're someone that loves the outdoors, maybe it's time to put your office facing your window so you can see what's going on outside. And if you cannot afford that, maybe all you just need to do is move around a painting in the house that has a picture of a nice beach or outdoor and put it where you can see it's right in front of you, so it gives you that outdoorsy feel. Spend some time to decorate and set up your space to work best for you. It's okay. And if you want to splurge on it, go ahead and splurge. But the simple thing is just walk around the house, pick out items that you love, but they're not placed in your office space, that might inspire you, and put them in your workspace. My fourth point is kind of linked to decorating, but it's more about creating an ambience for work. So for me, I love essential oils. So I have a diffuser every now and again in my office. I actually have a candle. Sometimes I light a candle. I have this lovely hair freshener in my office space that when I walk in, that scent just gets me in a good mood. So think about how you can create the beautiful ambience for working, because I'm going to tell you honestly, it can be tough working from home sometimes. Some days you're good, you're ready to get on with it and rule the world and conquer all the emails and conquer everything. And then some days it's just tough, but you still have to do it. But just positioning yourself in a way that for you to prosper and to succeed is the best way about it. So make sure you create the ambience. Every now and again, I listen to some really good music. I know there are tons of resources out there, especially with music that boosts creativity. There are music that boosts mood. There are oils out there. Invest in that and just put it in your space. And if you have a diffuser somewhere else in the house, just move it, bring it to your space, and there you go. And the last point I want to talk about, which is the fifth point, is safety. I'm sure my husband is thinking, this should be the first point. Yes, it should be the first point. You need to think about your safety when you're creating your workspace. Now, making sure that your space is ergonomical is very important, especially when you're working from home. I'm going to tell you, when I set up my office to work from home, the first thing I got was a really nice chair and a table and all of that. But the chair was really bad for my back because I spent hours sitting down and I had a really bad back. Hence why I got this chair. So invest in a good ergonomical chair. And if you don't have access to that right now, you can just put in pillows and pad it up in a way that your back is well supported so that when you're working, you're okay. Look, here's the thing. I know that you want to work off your bed, but how many times have you been in bed working on your laptop and when you're about to get up, you feel the ache, right? So if you have an office set up in the home, of course you want to make sure that the table and the chairs and everything around you cares for your safety. So if you have hardwood floors, for example, and you want to get rollers on your chair, make sure you put a piece of rug under it so you don't roll off. Well, or your key doesn't roll you off while you're working. So just think about safety. So I've just gone through 5 things you should consider if you want to work from home, especially when it comes to your office space, so that you can boost your productivity. Let me just say this. It's really important. That's why companies keep decorating and redecorating and moving things around in the offices to make sure that they can boost their team's productivity. So why not do that? Maybe it's time for you to move things around in your space if you already have one. And if you don't have one, do create that. So if you love videos like this, please do subscribe and do share as well with other colleagues or other work from home moms that you know would benefit from this video. And I will see you around.